Hey everybody, it's Richard here, also known as Knack Man on Pinside. I'm 61 years old. I used to work at a game room repairing pinball machines and uprights when I was 16 years old down in Miami, Florida at Westland Mall at a game room called Funorama. So that's where my love of pinball came from. More recently, I used to run the rgparchive.com website up until it shut down after a severe auto accident that I was involved in. That was back in 2011, 2012 timeframe that I had the accident. RGP Archive was around for 2 or 3 years. And I loved doing it. I wish I was still able to get the domain back, but I can't. But I've gotten through my health issues, and I'm about to do my first Playfield swap. I've never done one. And at 61 years old, I tend to forget things. So I thought I'd write an application, and this is running on a local WAMP server here in the house, but I'm thinking about putting it up in the cloud and making it available to everybody because I really love giving back to the community that's helped me out so many times. And, you know, as you age, at least in my case, I tend to forget things. I don't do things exactly the same way every time. So I thought, use my computer skills, document this, and that way I can go back. And from a simple documenting program like, what did you put in bag number 1, this kind of just started evolving for the last 3 months, and it's evolving even more. But let me show you what I've got, and I would like some feedback from the community if this is useful. Critical feedback is great as well. Just my thoughts of how I want to go about implementing a Playfield swap, and maybe it'll be useful to other folks. All right, so what you see here is I've logged in as admin, and I put in a Star Wars machine. I'm certainly not doing a Playfield swap there, but I am swapping out the Playfield on my Stargate. So I'm going to select that machine, and immediately the first place that it takes you to, let me check the URL. Yes, brings you to search. You immediately notice that on the right hand side we got an image of the Playfield, blank, nothing on it, and you got the bottom side of the Playfield. And I don't have the back box pictures in yet, but I'm going to put them in, so I'm not going to bother clicking on those buttons. And I've made some dummy entries over here on the left, 5 entries. But one of the things that you'll notice in search, I can search by a word in the description, a bag number, a connector on any side, and as you search, it'll filter these along the left-hand side under the results column. So, because as you might be 100 bags in and you don't want to go through 100 bags. So there's that capability. But more importantly, I made this so you could draw hotspots on the Playfield as you took things off. This application and what you're seeing is viewed on an iPad screen, but it runs great on a PC. You have more real estate, but it actually runs even on an iPhone or an Android. Things move around a little bit, but they all are mobile device friendly. But it took a lot of work to get the ability to draw on a screen on an iPad. And when I got to that eureka moment today, I decided to do a video. So what you'll notice, if you look real carefully, you'll see this yellow polygon, this kind of reddish polygon, this green polygon, this other green polygon. Those are all hotspots that I drew that have to do with things that I would be taking off the Playfield. Again, this is all test data. It's not real. I would draw the polygons more precise. But to give you an idea, down here on the lower right is the solenoid where it pops the ball up into the ball trough, a shooter lane. So you click on that polygon, and it immediately brings you to the record that polygon represents, and of course it highlights up in purple to let you know you selected it. And I can see that it's a solenoid, and it ultimately its wiring goes back to J123 in the back box. Again, fake data. But get the idea that And down here you've got a little legend to show you, if it's in pinkish red, it's a lamp. If it's a mechanical piece, like a solenoid or a motor or what have you, it's going to be in blue. If it's wiring, it's going to be kind of like in this orange. So I've got 3 different types. I have more than that, but if I had a 4th type, then the legend would show more. But right now I only have 3 types in the database, so it only shows 3. So it's very adaptive in terms of what data is there versus what it shows. All right. Another thing that you can do is I can go up here to utilities. The UI is not polished yet. I may move things around. But let's say I wanted to create a new hotspot after I've taken something off, or I'm about to take something off and I want to document it. This is not the record creation of what you're taking off, but more importantly, visually and map-wise, where it is located on the playfield. So hotspot editor, we're going to edit the top of the playfield. So it brings up a bigger image of the playfield, and this again is in the iPad. In the Windows box, it actually scrolls. It's a little bit bigger, and you don't have to do so much scrolling. But you'll notice I already got 1 polygon on the top side. It was a test. But let's just say I want to do this right sling here in white. So the first thing I do is I select top. I get it into the draw polygon mode. So now when I touch the screen, it's actually going to draw as my finger moves. So I'm going to draw around this. Not a great drawing. You could zoom in and make it a little bit better. On the PC, it works really good because I can actually click and draw. And I think I can maybe even do that here. So let's clear this. Let's clear this poly. And let's draw again. Let's see if it'll do just lines. 1 point. Yeah, it will. 2 points. 3 points. 4 points. 5 points. You get the point. No pun intended. And I'm going to say we're going to call this the right. This is pre-populated. You got some custom availability to add in custom text, but this is going to be the right sling. So let's see, right sling. All right. Category. It's going to be default because it's going to be top. I'm probably going to put a plastic, but right now we'll call it default. And then what records have I already created in the database that I want to associate with that poly? So right sling, plastic, rubber, and mounting hardware. So we'll say number 4. And finish the polygon. We'll, even though I didn't really close it, as you can see right there, it's not totally closed. When I hit finish, it'll snap, and now it turns red, and it creates the poly. And now I can save the hotspot. Now, if I go back to, clear and get back into pan select mode so I don't draw on it any longer. Now if I go up to utilities and I go view the playfield top, because I want to see what, there's my poly, and it's in blue. It's default, like it should be. If I click it, it brings me up that record. Record number 4. It shows that it connects in the back box to A3J4, which may or may not be right. I don't know. Again, this is test data. I have been importing stuff out of the schematic using AI to pull the data from the schematics and pre-populate database fields for wiring colors, pin, what exact pin that particular wire goes to, and then what connector. And it's going to eventually, and I've got a beta of it, but I can't show it here. Eventually, you're going to actually see a visual looking diagram from part location to back box location, giving you an idea what the wire is. And you can use that for troubleshooting purposes. So you don't have to go to a manual and go, what does this go to in the back box, and what color wire should I be looking for? You can pull it right up from here. So not only is this a Playfield swap database program, once you go through that process, it's also has the ability to help you troubleshoot a problem quickly by not having to look in the manual. It's going to have the data. It's amazing what AI can get from an uploaded manual. All right, so this one doesn't have any photos, but so let's say I wanted to take a photo of that particular sling. I can say take a photo. Apologize if the iPad makes a little scratchy sound. Let's just pretend the mouse is that sling. Take a picture of it. Use photo. And there she is. The photo shows up, and right here I don't talk about wires because it's really plastic, but let's pretend that there was a wire. You'll see what happens when you do that. Now you get two description boxes open up, so you can actually type in the wire description. When the data that I'm talking about in future release, it will actually pre-populate with the wires that should be there, unless somebody who's fixed the machine had to end up using different wire. It should be the wire that Gottlieb said would be the wire color. What bag I've put all this stuff in. I could put the description of the wires. I got to definitely put something in the item description, which is already there. And then I can just update the entry if I want. At this point, it's updated. And now I can go back to viewing, or I can go back to search. And, for example, I can put in bag 4. What's in bag 4? Oh, well, there it is. It's the sling. That's what's left in bag 4. Or I can swap over to the bottom side, and I can pick this poly, and it's a lamp matrix harness, also in bag 4. Again, this is all fake data, but I wanted to give you the idea of what's capable here. A new entry starting from scratch. Okay, where are you at? Are you on the top of it? Are you on the bottom? The back box will get added to this drop down, but top, it defaults to top. You type in your item description. Again, you type in your bag number that you're going to put all this stuff in, your number of wires, if there's connectors to what you're taking off. Let's say it's a topside mech that's got wires. You could say that it's Playfield top, and what connector is it going to. You can identify that if you want in the back box and type it in here, and you can give a little note. If it only has one connector, you can delete the other one, so you only have one here. Or if you have no connectors, because it's maybe plastic, you can delete it all, so no connectors. Then the connector mappings. This is the beginning of that next iteration of the program. It goes from the Playfield to where in the back box, and that helps to build the visual display that eventually will be available in the release. And I can save the entry. I got to type something, so I'll just go test 3, and save entry. Got the minimum amount of information recorded, and now I have another record. What else is there? I'm not sure. I can change machines. I can do the hotspot editor, which I've already showed you. I can upload my top image, my bottom image, and my back box populated and my back box bare. Yeah, that's it. So I'd like some positive feedback. Not positive like, hey, it's a great program, but give me some feedback. I'd like to hear from the community. If you don't like something, or even maybe a wish list or an idea, it's easy to implement these ideas. I've only been building this for about 3 months, and I've spent about 2 days a week on it. And yeah, again, looking for some feedback, and I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. More to come.